In terms of nutrition, what do you like to focus on?
Nutritionally wise at the start, and again, to be honest, this is something that gets in my opinion, very overcomplicated. Basic changes. All it is at the start is fiber. We look at fiber, we look at protein intake, we look at water intake. And from that standpoint, then it's about educating the person on each of the other macros. So I always start to just literally just saying to the person, let's just have a talk about your general nutrition and where are they coming from. So I can get a scale in my head, the nutritional literacy. So what's their quantitative and qualitative literacy around nutrition? Do they even, like, it's fine for me as a coach to say carbohydrates are rice and potatoes and all this stuff, where that person might have heard of the word carbohydrate, but wouldn't know what's what, or would not know that if you're eating a certain type of food, they could perceive as being healthy. So it's just at nutrition at the start with me, it's just basic level, understanding protein, understanding energy balance, and then from there, understanding the importance of our fiber within our diet, and then building up from that standpoint. And I suppose trying to work with the client around what they would have perceived, like the negatives of nutrition, like carbohydrates make us suddenly gain weight, and fat is really bad for us. And so it would just be talk to the client, where are they on a scale of 1 to 5? If they're here at number 1, their literacy is really low, perfect, no problem. That's really good, because now I can start to educate from the ground up. If they're up at 4 and they think, oh yeah, I've been keto, I've been intermittent fasting, I've done all these and I know all about nutrition, then we'll try to make an intervention that we can help that person at that level and educate them at that level. So that's the way I would always work it. It's a scale in my head when I'm speaking to somebody and I say, oh, I'm taking notes, and that's where all my coaches would do the same.
Mm-hmm. And that was almost opposite of what you do with somebody who's trying to like get ready for a photo shoot.
Yeah, I mean, what we do in the whole bodybuilding industry or in the photo shoot industry, to be honest, I mean, we have to be honest here. I mean, people often negatively talk about prep, and I've often came on Instagram and defended it because I went through so many. What you do in prep isn't healthy by any means. Getting down to 5-6% body fat to step on stage is not super healthy for anybody. But again, it's the educated approach you do to it and the systems and structure out of it. So what I would say is, yeah, when somebody comes and they want to get into photo shoot shape, it's not stage lean, but it's pretty lean. Explaining. The biggest thing I could do as a coach is list, this is the process. This is where you currently are. This is what will take to get to here. But this is what you have to feel and expect along the way. There is going to be days of hunger. There is going to be days of low energy availability. And that's just part of the journey. And there will be a stage, like I always use the analogy, and I have a couple of clients at the moment prepping. There's a time, and I'll give them the timeline. We're going to drop the hammer a little bit here. So we've got a period, we're going to dig, and then we're going to pull out of that because we're pulling away fatigue going into your shoot. But this point, if we dig now, we put a big effort in, we're probably going to have a little bit lower calorie, the output's going to be a little bit higher, but 2 or 3 weeks out from the show or the shoot, then we're starting to refeed into it. The body's going to wash away a little bit of fatigue, you'll feel a little bit better running into it, and then we're going to get the look we desire. And that only comes from a longer prep, to be honest.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah.
So you tend to what's the shortest prep? 16 weeks even for those people?
Yeah, 100%. Because to be honest, like I've went through a prep just now, and I've been 6 months dieting, probably 8 months, but 6 months really putting in that effort of dieting and training to get on stage. And the one thing that I felt was, if I was ready 4 weeks out, then I could feed into the show. And I fed into the first show, eating, dropping carbs, then refeeding, dropping carbs, refeeding, and the usual thing, manipulation of fats. And I found that once I got into that groove, my head space then straight away was, okay, I've got 5 days here where I'm digging a little bit, and I've got 2 days where I'm refeeding, so I'm going to feel great. So I ran that process into a first show, and then was able to just refeed into 3 more shows back to back. And the same with clients. And what I learned over the last few years was, if we can talk to the client and show them that a 20-week prep is going to be a good place to be, because we've got more time. Why are we restricting our window so much to 12 weeks? Like, what's the rush? If you want to be in this desired shape, a 20-week prep is probably going to be, on a health standpoint, better for us, because we can start to weed out in the first few weeks. start to build, see where calories are, energy availability, working through it, getting that exercise selection right, getting the programming right. And then we've got 16 weeks where we've everything dialed in and we can say, right, now let's go. We've got 4 blocks here, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. And that's to where we're going to think as we go down. And I think it works really well for people if they can. But again, it's all down to that person and where their starting point is. That's not going to be for everybody. Not every client is going to be ready 4 weeks out. But it depends on if they're in the right position at the start to do it.
So in this sense, it's almost like you get them to jog to the finish line rather than crawl, which would happen if you're pushing way too much in a short period of time.
Because what we want to do is we want to get the body in a position where we're what I use the analogy, we're within touching distance. So we're not there, but we're very close. So we're saying, okay, condition is good now, body fat percentage is nearly there. We probably have another bit to go, but we're within touching distance. That's 4 or 5 weeks out. Now we can start to decelerate a little bit, where we've been pushing for probably a block of 4, and then we're into our last block of 4. So we can say, right, we've 2 weeks here where we're within touching distance, we're going to push for 2, and then we back off completely. And then it's going to be a case of bringing calories up. So you're going to refeed into your shoot, you're going to bring output down slowly, and you're going to start to wash away a lot of fatigue. That high output from cardiovascular work, that's going to be cut down. Potentially the week of the shoot, all you're doing is steps. So the body is de-stressing, you're really deloading the body completely, and that's where you get the best result. That's where you get the best physiques. And this I think it's an old school trainer taught that prep, you have to be drilling into the ground all the time, because that's the perception around prep. Oh, it's hard work, train hard, diet hard, just go, 7 days cardio, 7 days training, this kind of thing. So I think the more educated we got as coaches over the time, looking up to people in the industry that were doing it on a level that we were saying, how are they getting these transformations? And these people are actually coming out of their preps and they're really, really good. The likes of the guys from 3DMJ, the likes of the Bim Podolskis, the likes of the muscle mentors now in the UK, these guys are kind of paving the way of, this is a better way to do this, guys. We don't need to be drilling somebody all the time, so that's kind of where I've been going with the last few years with it as well, and just the client's health at the forefront of everything we do. Don't compromise that for a click of a camera.